How's it going, everyone? I hope you are all enjoying your Thanksgiving. I'm currently enjoying the fruits of my Black Friday pickups. I love Black Friday, even though it's not really a thing anymore. But we've got the brand new Spielberg movie to talk about. I love Steven Spielberg. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. So seeing a movie about him and his love of film sounded amazing. I found this one to be just as good as I expected, actually. It follows his life and his relationship with film and the empathy related between art and also family. It also kind of covers his parents' divorce and in the relation to film and how the family can all connect through film as they are all, minus kind of the dad, big film fans. Even the dad, though, will help out with his son's films, and he definitely watches them all. He just sort of sees it more as a hobby compared to a job like the rest of them sort of do. There's actually a scene here where he finds something out in one of his films, and it was very heartbreaking and it was beautifully done. And that whole threaded plot line, which I'm not going to spoil, was very, very well done throughout the movie. I felt like at some points maybe they were dragging on to it a little bit too long, but once you get to the scene, the culmination of it all, it really does seem very well done, and I really appreciated the way that Spielberg sort of spread that out throughout the movie, and he kept there being melodrama, but it didn't seem overly melodramatic like it could maybe come across in the bare pipeline of the film. Gabriel LaBelle plays Sam, the main character, and I think he did a pretty good job here. I don't think it's anything overly special, but I think that he played a likable main character. Even though there were some moments where you could find him kind of annoying, I think that for the most part, he did a good job and he played a relatable character and somebody who was going through struggles, and you could see the love of film every single time on the screen, and I thought that worked really well. Michelle Williams plays the absolute powerhouse of this movie as the mom, and she is going to absolutely kill it with award season. She did such a good job. She comes in and out of doing these emotional and dramatic scenes. She's practically begging for an Oscar here, and I do think that she could maybe deserve it. There were some scenes that sometimes came across like, okay, this sort of just feels like this scene is in here, so she'll win an Oscar. But I think that she did a very good job here, and she plays that motherly role very well. And when things happen throughout this film that negatively affect her or negatively affect her kids, I thought she did a great job specifically in those scenes. But she's also very bombastic and fun-loving in this movie. Paul Dano plays one of his much more reserved roles, usually playing kind of a crazy person. In this, he's just playing Spielberg's dad, who is just kind of quiet and sort of keeps to himself. And I think that he did a good job here. There wasn't really a whole bunch of acting to do, but for subtle acting, he did a good job. And Seth Rogen plays sort of the Uncle Benny, and I think that he did good with what he was given. There wasn't a whole bunch for him to do in this movie either, but I think that he did great. Judd Hirsch has 9 minutes of just absolute perfection as Uncle Boris. He has the most memorable scene of maybe the entire movie, and I thought that he did such a good job. He bounced off with Gabriel LaBelle's performance perfectly, and he really just keeps your eyes glued to the screen the whole time. He could get nominated for a supporting actor Oscar, and I would be okay with it, even though it was only 9 minutes. He is one of the most memorable performances of the entire film. And David Lynch has a fun moment at the end as a famous movie director, and it was hilarious, and it was perfect casting. This film also deals with some anti-Semitism and relationship stuff. I found the relationship stuff to be kind of a weaker point with the movie. I didn't really care as much, but the anti-Semitism aspect to it, it was very sad and it was done well in the movie. And the way that that all connected towards Spielberg's sort of personality in the film, or Sam's personality in the film, I thought that it all glued and tied together really well. This film is more than just a regular kid loves movies plotline in relation to like a Belfast or such. And it's a lot deeper and shows the connection between the art and the emotion, or the art and empathy. And like I said earlier, it can be slightly melodramatic at points, that it can be comical, but it's also very fairy tale-ish. So Not everything seems as real as maybe it was meant to, but with a title like The Fabelmans, maybe it wasn't supposed to be contained. Maybe it was supposed to be more of a fable, so that would explain maybe why it was more melodramatic at certain points. But I think the comedy is done here well, and I think the emotion is done here most of the time really well. The cinematography, there were some really good shots. A lot of the shots with the projector running and the light that comes off of it were really, really well done. Although a lot of shots seemed really dried out in light. Basically, all of the day scenes looked a little bit dried out, like the white balance was sort of off with the camera. The score is solid as well, it fits the emotion, and it's not one of his most memorable scores at all, but I think that the score here is good. This is not my favorite Spielberg film. I don't even know if it would be in my top 10, but if it is his last, I would be happy with it. I think that this is a great culmination of 50 years of this, and I thought that he did a very good job. I think that if I'm going to give this film a score, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really solid. This movie is definitely Oscar bait. It's going to absolutely kill it with picture, director. I'm sure that Michelle Williams is going to get something. Maybe Paul Dano or Judd Hirsch get thrown in there, and probably a bunch of technicals. I'm excited to see how this film does. A lot of the reviews have started to come out already, and people are really enjoying it. So yeah, that's what I thought of this movie. My next review is going to be Glass Onion. I saw this and Glass Onion last night back to back, so stay tuned for that Glass Onion review, and I'll see you guys all later.